What about the spot searching part of it? Like, was that always a thing to you, or was there a time that you could identify where looking for spots really started to matter to you?
Yeah, I think it's kind of always been a part of my riding, but like I think in the last like 10 years, it's more so like I look at it now as like, it's almost meditation for me. It's almost like a good thing for my mental health. You know, it's like I get up, you know, have some coffee, listen to music or a podcast, drive around, find spots. And it's like I don't know, it's almost like ceremonial at this point, you know, like I really enjoy that. And I realize how beneficial it is for like my mental health and just my well-being. So, and I get to, you know, do things that I care about. I'm finding spots, and then I get to go back on the weekend and go film at those spots that I found. You know, it's like, it works out really well.
How organized with it are you? Because that was one thing. I always liked looking for spots, but my brain was never organized enough to be like, okay, today we're going to go look at this area. And I've known riders who were like that over the years, though, where like they would pick a city or pick a part of town and just like really comb through it and really feel comfortable by the end that they had seen everything there was to see. Like, how meticulous with it are you?
I'm more on that side these days. Like I'm pretty meticulous about it. I have an app that tracks your route. So like I'll like go, all right, I'm going to go to this industrial pocket.
Wow.
And I'm going to go down every street,
That's smart.
So it's like I don't cover as much ground, but at least I comb through it really well, you know? So, but then other times I'm just like, dude, I'm going to go with it. Like, I'm going to go turn right here, left here, right. Like I just kind of like just wing it, you know, but both formulas work.
Right, definitely. But are you like super confident that there's almost nothing for you to find in your general area? Like, do you have to travel a pretty decent amount at this point, since I'm sure you've combed through your area over and over?
I always think that, but then I get humbled, dude. Sometimes I'll see something that's like within 5 minutes of my house, and I'm like, or maybe not that close. That's
Yeah,
pretty
5
damn
minutes is
close.
close, yeah.
You know, 15, 20 minutes where I'm like, oh my goodness, like how on earth did I not find this, you know? So it's like, you know, you get humbled by it sometimes, but I do generally, I'm like, I have to drive an hour to get to, or further to get, cause even the hour zone, you know, whether it's like San Bernardino or like even up here, Burbank, Glendale, like it's like, there's still stuff to be found, but I feel like I've been to those zones so many times that I'm over searching in them right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. You have experiences where there's like something that was weirdly close to your house that you just ignored and just never looked down that one street over and over?
Yeah. Yeah, I have stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's super strange. I think too, there's just like, even like, think about like a medical complex or a business complex. It's like you can drive by it a million times and be around it a million times, but until you actually go in the corridor and there's like, oh, there's these perfect ledges in here, you know, you might not know until you go in there. So.
Right. How motivated are you to work on spots? Like I've seen you bondoing stuff and like fixing ledges and shit. Like how often do you do that, and how motivated would you say? Are you down to do that to just get one clip, or do you usually want it to feel like it's a spot that's like worth sessioning in order to put some work in on it?
Both. Yeah, for sure. Like I'll fix a spot to get one trick for sure. But then also sometimes I fix things I don't even feel like riding just for the sake of fixing them, because it's like, I don't know, the more spots, the better for people, you know? So it's like sometimes I consider it like community service, so to speak, for like skate and BMX. Cause it's like, I know how beneficial these things are for people, especially cause how weird the world is right now. It's like to have something like skate and BMX in your life and to have more spots to do it on is just going to help everybody.
Definitely. Do you feel like you're primarily looking for spots for yourself, or do you, because like I remember when I started hanging out with Garrett Reeves, all of a sudden I became like a guy who was looking for wall rides, and I never really like, I'd always been like looking for little shit to grind or whatever. And then I just started hanging out with him, and all of a sudden it's like, oh no, I can see like a little 4-foot bank and a wall 20 feet away.
Yeah.
And that's a thing that I need to actually remember now.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I ride with so many different people with so many different styles that I'm always like keeping my eyes open for everything, because it's like something that might not work for me could be perfect for somebody else, you know, like, and plus like, that's kind of the point. Like I want to be able to, I get just as excited when I take somebody to a spot that I found and they get a trick at it and they like the spot, then the same as if I did it. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, that's so sick. Like, it worked out for you. I'm happy that everything was worth it now, you know? So,
Right.
yeah.
I remember there was a Road Fools trip back in the day where they went to Miami, I think, and they fucking put on like a slow, sad song, and they were like sort of talking about how everything in the whole city was capped, and it was just like, oh, this is a sad look at what the future of street riding might be like. And it's true that, like, you know, a lot of spots I go to are capped, and I'm like, oh fuck, I remember somebody did something on this rail 20 years ago, and it's probably been capped since then. How depressing is that? Do you feel like that is a sad state of affairs, or is that just kind of a negative way to look at it?
That Road Fool scene is so depressing, by the way. I seriously just watched that. It's Road Fool 7. I watched it like a month ago, and it's all Super 8, slow song, like security guards and caps and this and that. But yeah, it's pretty depressing. But I think the crazy thing is, like, as with everything, BMXers and skateboarders are like evolving to like overcome those things. It's like, cool, we're going to take a cap off if we need it gone, or we're going to Bondo this if we need it Bondoed. And,
you follow the Knob Buster on Instagram?
Yeah, I follow him.
That's motivational. Yeah. That makes me want to go out and take caps off things, just seeing how motivated he is.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It feels good to get something running, you know, it really does. So I'm sure that's like part of his drive is like, dude, he takes the caps off a spot, and then Nija gets 5 tricks on it. It's like, cool, it was worth it, you know? So yeah.
It's all just part of building this overall story of BMX and skating.
Yeah, and I think too, there's like something special about like being able to, I don't know, I'm trying to be an example in as many ways as I can, you know, again, that might sound corny to some people, but it's like, if someone sees me and they see that I'm out spot searching, fixing spots, riding a lot, it's like, I hope that's motivating for those people to have that, because, you know I keep going back to it, but these are things that are good for your mental health as well, good for your brain to have these like things you're passionate about. So if someone could see the stuff that I'm doing and get inspiration from it, I want to keep doing it.
Right. I remember maybe 2010-ish era sort of realizing that I felt like the new generation of kids didn't give a shit about like real true street riding and spots the same way that maybe my generation had, based on like the animal videos and shit like that. And I started to realize like, oh, a lot of these kids really just want to see tech plaza shit because it's super relatable and they feel like they could go and learn this stuff. And that bummed me out, and, you know, kind of felt like I had to sort of try to work around it. But, you know, there was videos from that time period that I just remember that I thought were the sickest thing ever, and just seeing them not really get that much attention, and it was kind of a bummer. How do you feel about where the average young BMX kid is at in terms of appreciating those things like spots and finding spots and shit like that?
Yeah, no, it's a lot more rare these days than it was, because I know what era you're talking about. That's when I was coming up riding too and really enjoying it. Like literally, like, it's, I'd say maybe 10% of riders care about spots. They just like, here's the thing. It's like, obviously tricks are really important. You need to work on those. You need to do things that you feel like fit in your trick bag or whatever. But, spots are just as important most of the time, in my opinion, because it's like, if you use the spot correctly, that's even more of a trick than just doing the trick on something else. You know, it's like, whoa, you use this, this, and this, and this. Like, that's special. That takes some brain power, and it takes like some passion to figure that out, you know? So it's like, personally, and I hope that doesn't sound like I'm not downplaying any of the tech stuff that anybody does, or any of the, I guess, stock 8-stair handrail stuff people do, because that stuff's impressive as well. But I think personally, I'm drawn towards the riders that use the spot to the full potential. And hopefully, again, like, you know, I think there's enough dudes that are doing that right now to where it's going to continue to live on. You know, I hope it doesn't fade away.
Hey, you guys have been helping us out a ton. The Clips channel just got to 20K in record time, and we're trying to hit 30. So go down below, click the subscribe button. We're updating every day. Appreciate y'all.